The 1920s, a time of music, motion, and money. The Jazz Age roared with optimism, stocks soared, factories thrived, and America believed the good times would never end. But behind the laughter and the lights, a storm was building. A storm that would silence the world's joy and change millions of lives forever. This is the story of the Great Depression, the decade that tested humanity's spirit and reshaped the modern world. After the First World War, America stood on top of the world. Cars rolled out of Henry Ford's factories, radios brought music into every home, and the stock market promised instant wealth. But greed grew faster than wisdom. People bought stocks with borrowed money, gambling that prices would rise forever. Banks lent recklessly, farmers overproduced, and small cracks began to form beneath the glitter of prosperity. October 29, 1929, the day the bubble burst. Black Tuesday. Panic hit Wall Street. Investors rushed to sell their shares. In a single day, billions of dollars vanished. People who had borrowed to buy stocks were ruined overnight. Bankers tried to stop the collapse, but the fear was unstoppable. The American dream had turned into a nightmare, and the crash had only just begun. The crash tore through the economy like wildfire. Banks began to fail. More than 9,000 closed in the United States alone. Without deposit insurance, people lost their life savings overnight. Factories shut down. By 1933, 1 in every 4 Americans was unemployed. Families sold furniture just to buy food. Children went hungry. Makeshift camps of the homeless, Hoovervilles, appeared on the edges of every major city. Across the world, trade collapsed, currencies fell, and despair spread from continent to continent. For millions, the depression was not numbers or charts, it was survival. Meet Mary Thompson, a factory worker in Chicago. When her factory closed in 1931, she lost her job, her home, and her hope. Mary's diary reads, "The hardest thing isn't hunger, it's watching my children forget what laughter sounds like." In the farmlands, another tragedy unfolded. The Dust Bowl. Years of drought and overfarming turned rich soil into dust. Winds carried it for miles, covering homes and choking livestock. Families known as Okies left everything behind, driving west in search of work. Their journey inspired novels, songs, and the enduring image of resilience against despair. In 1933, a new voice rose above the fear, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. His message was simple, yet powerful.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
He launched the New Deal, a bold plan to rebuild America. Workers joined the Civilian Conservation Corps, planting trees and restoring parks. The Public Works Administration built roads, bridges, and schools. The Social Security Act offered security for the elderly. And for the first time, banks were protected under the FDIC, ensuring no one would lose savings again. The New Deal didn't fix everything overnight, but it restored something even more important than money: hope. Even in the darkest decade, creativity shone. Hollywood gave people escape. The Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind, King Kong, radio shows made families laugh again. Photographers like Dorothea Lange captured haunting portraits of struggling families, reminding the nation that compassion was still alive. Art became a mirror, reflecting pain, but also courage. By the late 1930s, America's economy began to rise again, but it was World War II that finally ended the Great Depression. Millions joined the armed forces. Factories roared back to life, producing weapons, vehicles, and supplies. Jobs returned, and the nation stood united once more. It was a painful irony that global war brought back prosperity, but it marked the end of a decade of despair. The Great Depression was more than an economic collapse. It was a lesson in endurance. It taught governments the need for regulation, social safety nets, and responsible finance. It taught people the power of unity, kindness, and courage. From the ashes of despair, humanity rebuilt itself. Stronger, wiser, and more compassionate, because every storm in history ends the same way, with those who choose to rebuild. This was the Great Depression, the storm that broke the world, and the spirit that rebuilt it.